Do, 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 do. Alrighty. So let's pop out the stream chat. Grab that. Okay, dokie. Let's see. It's been a week. I've been just collecting some data for the upcoming video. I'm in the Discord if you want to chat at all. But for the most part, I'm testing every incarnon in existence. Hey there, Ninja. Yeah, so I just finished testing the Gorgon. So they actually buffed it, surprisingly. You no longer have to charge the weapon before firing. So, or its incarnon weapon before firing. So that's going to make a big difference in the long run. Let me just quickly grab something. I just need to check what the next incarnon to test is, because I'm testing them by week. So I have the Angstrom and the Gamma Core. I'm doing alright. I'm going a little insane because I spent like the last week getting all of the incarnons maxed out and leveled up, and you know, Formad, just going a little insane, not gonna lie. So let's test out the Gamma Core next. What have you been up to the last week? I mean, videos like this are probably going to start showing up on YouTube sometime this week. So I thought I might as well just do the grind. It's a thing, one of the things that I've said I would be working on this week. Oh my goodness. I hate these guys. I hate these guys so much. They cause so many problems. So basically, my methodology is that I'm going to be collecting data from... Oh, they buffed the Gamma Core too. Interesting. So I'm going to be collecting data by doing this mission 3 times, 5 minutes each. And if something like that happens constantly, I will be like, okay, let's just give it a little bit of a reset. It's fine. But, like, for the most part, unless I'm terribly unlucky during a run, I'm just taking their total kills in that 5-minute period and putting them on a spreadsheet. So, yeah, I've noticed that the week 2 incarnons have been buffed, and they all feel quite a bit better to use. Oh, from what I've experienced so far. For it, the boar was already really powerful. And now it's even more powerful. I don't know what they changed about it, but the target acquisition seems to feel a lot better. But you can see that, like, this is basically like a spammable... Bad. Spammable Plink's secondary fire. So it's good for grouping. It feels much better now. Not as much recoil and all of that. Takes a little bit to charge. So what I noticed about a lot of these incarnon weapons is that they're pretty... You can't ever use the incarnon in like star chart missions, or like it's really hard to. So I would say so far that they are all pretty competitive. So I've tested the original set, the week 1, and now I'm working on week 2 weapons. And the Gamma Core, as you can see, looks pretty decent. These guys are Steel Path, level 180 to 200. And so far I'm at 150 kills. So it's not bad. The fact that it serves as a weapon with a gathering ability is quite good too. Gives more weapon diversity and whatnot. You can tell that I probably have a little bit more energy because I haven't been splitting my focus so much on like streaming and video creation. I've been able to focus purely on gathering the resources needed to make the upcoming video. Hopefully I'll have it by the end of the week. But yeah, I don't ever have to farm any of the current incarnons ever again. So unless well, if they come up with new ones, then yes, I'll have to farm them. But especially since, according to the DE, it's not going to be a forgotten system like so many of the other things. Yeah. So far, the ones I would recommend avoiding are like, I really hate to say this because I really like the weapon. The kunai is probably one of the weaker ones if you're trying to do just high-level content. Because like it's really good at dealing with really tanky single targets, but it's like it has currently from the testing it has the lowest amount of damage from or lowest amount of performance from large groups of enemies. And this like most of the melees you can probably do without. I've had to level each and every one of them, so like the ones with some extra nuance are nice. But like for instance the Skana, you really like it's not bad. It's a melee weapon. That's basically all you're getting, right? It's funny how a wrist-mounted laser does more damage than a Gatling gun, but whatever. 3-shot the acolytes. Woo! So the Gorgon, they buffed it. It feels a lot better now. So before they patched it, you had to charge up the incarnon shot before it exploded. You could shoot it. And then it also had a delayed blast. They increased the AoE of the blast. Feels like the damage. You do not need to charge it anymore, and it's fully automatic now instead of semi-automatic. Or charged. So, I can imagine you being able to build some really interesting pieces of kit with the Gorgon now. The Gorgon is kind of a meme, because basically you sentence one guy to death. Oopsie. Oopsie doopsie. Aww. But yeah, I have played with every single incarnon in the game so far. I'm just gathering data now for the whatchamacallit? The video. So the rules are simple for these things. No excessive bad luck runs will be included in the average. I'm doing 3 runs of each, no Rivens. I have to kill the Thraxes. And once it hits 5 minutes, I do my best not to kill anything else to skew the data. My favorite's still the Torrid. Like the original ones have a 2000% multiplier, which apparently I didn't know, but apparently it double dips with Zatah's Whisper, which is why I was doing millions of damage. I also really like the bows. So here, let me pull up a list really quick. So far my favorites are the Boar, the Paris, the Latron, the Torrid, the Boltor, Ceramic, Dagger, dual Ichor. Hey Jared. Long time no see. And the Despair. Those are some of my favorite ones. Oh, and the Dread. The Kunai is like, I really, really like it, but it's really not great. So, for instance, 320 something odd kills. Yeah, so let me just add that data to the spreadsheet. So let's see. Where am I? Week 2. Wait, did I not record? Oh yeah, I did record. It's this one. I need to type in the Gorgon. Yeah, so I'm just collecting data for an upcoming video that I'm making. So that's gonna be fun. So since this is streaming time, I am streaming that process and just chatting and hanging out. So 323. Here, 0, 0. Okie dokie. This will be a good way to get some footage for the video as well. Oh, dang. I think I've been hitting my tooth again. Or had some stressful dreams of some kind. Because, so one thing I learned over the last couple weeks is you can sprain your tooth. Oh my god, these guys. These guys literally need to leave me alone. Yeah, so for the most part, just hanging out while I collect data. Like, I'll be offering some additional metrics like how good does the weapon feel to use, how many issues I run into like this. Ugh. I wish those guys were not in this mission, but whatever. Sounds good, sounds good. Yeah. So there's a bunch of new things. Oh my god. This might be a wash, considering that's the third time. Well, second time during the timer. That's one of those guys grabbed my shite. I guess I should just always be jumping around. So, like, you see Eczema like this. Normally some of the more difficult Eczema in the game. Oh my goodness. Stop stealing my weapon. Jesus Christ. Uh-oh, I might be dead. So many leech Eczema. So I feel like this weapon is more or less better for. Oh my goodness! Stop grabbing my shite. Yeah, this weapon is more suited for like you pulling out to group enemies. In that case, you might as well just use the plinks, I feel. Because, like, the plinks' damage is just much more impressive. As well as it's much more flexible. I just want you to be gone. Oh no. Here I go again. And look. Look at this guy. This run is excessively bad luck. I swear I was invaded by the stalker like 6 or 7 times while I was... How are you still alive? Go. Stop rolling around. Oh boy. Yeah, so I'll eventually be making... But I want to make sure that, like, I give a fair analysis for all of the different weapons out there. Because, like, man, I really didn't like the Gorgon coming through and at the very beginning, and I was expecting to be, like, bad-mouthing it constantly. But it's actually doing fairly well now. It's in a decent place. Okay, I need to grab a life support. Oh, my tooth. My tooth is in pain. I just had lunch and like mad sprained my tooth. Like mad felt like the sprain in my tooth because I'm not able to chew proper like. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Yeah. Apparently they're adding a Headless Horseman type of Warframe in October. I'm hoping we get a small update or an update in general September. Because from what I understand, the next cinematic bit is coming in December. And then... So I do have the option of fighting those sentients. This weapon handles them all right. Yeah. She has a blade whip, I believe, as one of her character weapons. So it'll be interesting. That being said, we have no idea what she does. We just know what she looks like. Well, I'm almost 100% certain that she summons a Kaith, which is this game's version of a horse. I am so turned around. Yeah, so during excessive point, like I do go through quite a bit of stress on the day-to-day. So every now and again I'll grind my teeth. Last night was probably one of them because my sprain is worse. I spent all the last couple days trying to recover. Or couple, not days, it's like been a week already. Yeah, I'm tempted not to include this data set because, like, I had so much nonsense, like, befuddle me. But anyways, so, yeah, doing 3 rounds of each. Yeah, so I'm using a mouth guard right now, mostly so that I can take pressure off of my tooth. And for sleep. Right now, like, so have you ever, like, hit your face or, like, against something and then your teeth are, like, super sore afterwards? Like, you landed face first on the ground or something.
The Orican Neural Sentry is attempting to purge you from this place. Stand by for life support.
And then your tooth is like after the initial like pain is gone, like it's still like that residual soreness. Basically, I've had that for like the last 2 weeks. I went to see the dentist. They didn't explain too much about that. Yeah. Ooh, that laugh kind of hurt my belly somewhat. I don't know what's going on. So, yeah, other than physical maladies, I'm doing okay. I'm working on like 3 or 4 other projects at the same time. But like, I'm glad that I've decided to sit down and actually like focus on one of them for now. Because this is something that like I'm sure a lot of computer scientists and engineers go through, because, well, going through the school program for them, this is a common issue. We like to start a lot of projects at the same time, and we almost never follow through with any of them. Oh. Really? Really? Your little weapon didn't go anywhere near me, and you still caught my... I hate those guys so much. I hate them so much. Okay, so I'm going to set up over here, because this will... So I got lucky here, and I will be included... So this is basically one of the better spots for just, like, getting as many kills as possible. I just need them to start filing in. So it's going to be a little bit of a slow burn for now. Or at least I thought. I might have just artificially lowered the value. Oh, there they are. So Warframe has a weird spawn cap system. Yeah, like... Yeah, so I'll get to the weird spawning later, but yeah, like, as a former engineer and computer scientist, like, there's, like, not only do you gotta juggle a lot of different, like, you essentially completely different things. Where is my thing? But like, you also have to, like, you also have the knack for picking up a lot of different projects as well. Like, it becomes an ingrained habit. It's like, oh, I want to learn a little bit of 3D modeling so I can do this one thing. Oh, I guess I'm learning everything there is to do with, like, the basics of 3D modeling just to forget it in about 3 weeks. Oh, I need to learn how servers work? Okay. Do I remember how servers work? Is my server complete? Nope. Okay. Do I remember anything from my networking class? Nope. I guess I gotta start from scratch. Oh, I want to make a video game, or I want to make a web app. So many different things. Like, oh, I hate self knockback. It's like the worst mechanic. Like, I don't understand why DE is so obsessed with explosive weapons have to feel dangerous when you have, like, characters that literally set the world on fire. I really don't get the prospect. Uh-oh. Yeah, bad luck. Bad luck. It's okay. I hate Mania. Just like, oh, just catch you at the worst possible time. Too bad I'm executing you no matter what. I'm just like, come on. Like, that's so lame. And then the other ones are like, oh, I'm just gonna make sure you can't use your abilities. So this one's as good as dead because of how on fire it is. Oh, hey nerd. Uh, what is your current state of life? I was a little distracted just now from all of the nonsense happening. So let's see. While I'm running back to extraction, let's see. I always find remembrance in the fact that when you go back to read about something you have tried it as much. It depends on the thing, I think. Like there's the so when it comes to like a difficult video game, right? If you've like practiced it a lot, have you ever had the experience where there is a boss that you had like infinite difficulty trying to get through? Like a Monster Hunter is one of the prime examples of that. Like a monster that is very difficult to get through, but then you put the game down for like a week, you come back and you flawless the bloody thing, right? So there's actually a really interesting psychological phenomenon regarding that. Because when you get stuck on something, this is the same for education, exercise, um, and business, gaming, all of that, is that, uh, and you'll probably find this most when you're writing papers, because when you write a paper and then you read it over, it sounds just fine. But a lot of people find it really difficult to just put the bloody thing down and walk away for like 30 minutes and then come back and read it again. It's better if you give it more time in between because now you're not that same person that wrote it, right? And that's what I have to do on scripts and whatnot too. And sleeping on it too, like when you sleep, your brain kind of says, okay, let's convert all this short-term experience into long-term memory. It is the best way to write software. Um, the issue is that a lot of like a lot of places require you to crunch quite a bit, and it's not like, not the best. Um, One of the things I hate seeing posts about is, oh, you finally got the thing to work? Yep. How did you do it? I have no idea. It just works. That is a bad programmer. You do not ever want to hear a programmer say that. If it just works, that means you're missing the point somewhere. Critical projectile speed, damage. Okay. So next up is the Angstrom. This is a handheld rocket launcher. Yeah, no, like one of the most annoying things is like how when you go so when I write code, and I'm really out of practice now, but when I write code about like so if I have 100 lines of code, like 200 to 300 lines I will add 200 to 300 lines of documentation to make sure that like every use case is covered for. Because I'm not going to program like every edge case, because that makes no sense, right? So what's important is to leave instructions for like, hey, this is exactly what it's meant to handle. Do not put anything else in there. If you do try it, I'm not responsible for it anymore, right? That I think is acceptable, right? Because you designed something to handle one situation, right? And that's kind of like what programming is for, right? Like you make sure that one thing is really good at the one thing. Uh, I don't know why I did that. Huh. Yeah, they increased the projectile speed of that thing.
The Oregon Neural
Interesting.
Sentry is attempting to purge you from this place. Stand by for life support.
Don't mind the person gagging in the background. That's someone brushing their tonsils. Very thoroughly. Anyways. Yeah, so, like, one of the most frustrating things... Like, so, don't get me wrong. Like, when you're in a gigantic firm, like, this becomes, like, almost impossible to maintain, right? Because, like, oh, this feels really good. It's just bouncing between everything. And it's, like, super fast, too. Like, before they used to just glide nice and slowly. But now it's just, like, you treat their heads like ping pong balls. I need to check something after this. It's interesting. Like, bounce, 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 bounce. So, yeah, like, one of the things is that what a lot of people don't understand is, like, software isn't meant to be the solution to every, like, it shouldn't, a single piece of software or a single piece of code shouldn't handle every problem, right? So, like, and for instance, one might say, well, you got ChatGPT and all of that stuff, right? But no, it's exactly my point though. ChatGPT is built to solve one very specific thing, or handle one very specific instance, and that's like learning from data. Because we've had plenty of machine learning algorithms in the past 10 years. ChatGPT is the only one that's been good at it, right? Like, good enough to the point in which it can regurgitate its acquired knowledge. It's at the point where, like, machine learning models are able to replace programmers in a lot of cases, right? And yeah, this gun's feeling really good. Let's pop this. Because, like, you can, like, for something like Unity or, like, any, like, one of the scariest things is, like, in the next 5 years, software development firms will probably be headed by, like, a handful of people instead of, like, hundreds, right? Because why would you need, like, 100 people to do a bunch of coding when you can just ask a machine learning algorithm to do it? Like, you just need, like, a person there to handle edge cases. And that's realistically the scariest thing. So in the next 5 years, we'll probably go like that. That's why I'm not in computer science anymore, right? It's because like realistically, there's very like the market's just going to become more and more competitive, and we're going to be looking for like people who can do low level programming, and by low level I mean like being able to do the nitty gritty programming and handle edge cases, but also be able to handle AI, right? And I hate using the word AI in this context because it's not real AI, so it doesn't really matter, right? That detracts from my point. Like, it's all going to be about wranglers and whatnot. Apparently my dog did something weird. I'm gonna have to check on that in a moment. Oh, didn't transform it. Yeah, so this weapon can quite easily handle this high level content. Okay, I'm gonna have to check on my dog in a second. Oh, back. So, alright, I'm gonna collect this data here. Well, the squish gun wasn't necessarily nerfed. The thing was that they changed how damage works in its entirety. And that's kind of what made the acrid worse. Because, for instance, there was a hidden element to how strong a lot of weapons were, right? Yeah, there's still only big businesses that only use Excel, but here's the thing: you can also train an AI to run Excel. So I'm gonna be right back, and then you can hold that thought for a moment. I don't know how. Yeah, so accuracy calculations are still messed up. Just checking on the doggo. I'll be in and out real quick. Just gonna collect the data before I forget. So, yeah, almost 400 kills with that. So much better than the other ones so far. So yeah, I'll be right back. I just need to check on the dog. Okay, she just made it upstairs. Yeah, so one thing, right, when we're talking about AI is yeah. So that's how you can be. I think one of my records is like I had 30,000% accuracy. Like my overall accuracy isn't very good, right? Let me just double check that really quick. Because I like to hit the ground to explode things. Combat stats, I think. Eidolon. Does it not have accuracy? Completion rate. Huh, doesn't have accuracy. It's fine. So for instance, if you are using Vobin, his two or one of his twos count as a shot, but like it doesn't add to the total number of shots fired. It counts the number of hits you've had under total kills. Under total kills. That would be under combat, I guess. Huh. So yeah, my accuracy is kind of shite. So, like, here, let me show you something silly. Let's take a little break from me grinding for a second. So, accuracy is not a stat ever to be trusted. So I'm just gonna grab, like, I don't know, this. And we're going to swap this around so that I have energy. And then I don't know, let's do 5 minutes of infested survival. All the way up here, infested survival. So I'm going to aim to get as much, yeah, so piercing through multiple enemies, hitting enemies with the same shot, or simply not firing things that count as shots. So I'm just going to quickly do this. So I'm only ever going to fire one bullet. And hopefully it's a hit. There we go, it's a hit. So we got that. We got that. And then now. So with this, my accuracy should steadily be going up. I'm going to move to the point just so that I can, you know, if I need to, I can... Oh, I don't like this point though. Whatever. I'll do it here. So let's see where my accuracy goes by the end of this. Stand by the door. So let's see my current accuracy right now, shall we? Look at my accuracy. 5,600%. So accuracy's a dumb stat. It's so, like, there's so much spaghetti code. Like, because the way that this is coded, like, I've never fired another shot, but I've created something that fires shots for me. It's like one of the dumbest things in Warframe, but it's like, it hurts no one and it's funny, right? And it doesn't help my total stats at all, because I've shot millions of bullets at this point, and like this barely skims the surface. Let's throw one back here, so I don't have to worry about it. And one over there. Yeah, so basically we're going to sit here for like 5 minutes, see where it goes. See how, like, and mind you, the mob density is really low in normal star chart. I wish I kind of wish that the mob density was closer to that of Muso games. Like, what was it? I forgot what it's called. But, like, basically where you're fighting, like, millions of enemies at a time. Probably not to that scale. Like, you can just lower the damage numbers, just increase the number of bodies, and it'll make it a lot more fun. one issue with Warframe is that like there are certain weapon types that are just outright worse than others, right? So snipers, for instance, are terrible. Not because they don't do good damage, because they're still like meta for defeating certain bosses. But it's because like you're supposed to be killing hordes of things, right? And I think one solution is not to make something that's like invulnerable everywhere except for one spot, because I hate that. But like something that buffs, or like someone with just an explosive tank on their back, and if you shoot the explosive tank, everyone around them dies, you know? Or multiplies their damage. I think it's fairly simple to make, like, I think they're overcomplicating the issue with how AoE works. Okay, let's check my stats now. It is 311%. Oh, 311,000%, sorry. So, it's not about the sniper that's the issue. Like, it's just the whole class of weapon, which is pretty bad. So, like, imagine, like, the boomer from Left 4 Dead, right? It spawns more shite for you to fight, right? But if you blow it up, it kills all the zombies near it. Right? Something like that. Like, and you can make it reasonable. Like, you don't need to suspend your disbelief too much, because, like, for the infested, of course there'll be explodey guys. We already have explodey guys. For the Corpus, well, they have sentient tech now. Or they just have, like, an extremely unstable version of a void bubble that explodes when people blow it up. Yeah, kind of like that. And then the Grineer, they're the Grineer. They're gonna have, like, extremely explosive weapons, like, unstable weapons strapped to them because they're clone soldiers, so... Like, realistically, it doesn't, like... So look at that percentage. 521... No, 52,100%. Right? Kind of hard to say that I earned that, you know? Anyways, like Warframe's kind of dumb in a lot of ways. So I'm gonna go back to gathering the data. Let's type in angstrom. Yeah, so back to the conversation about, like, AI, right? It's about, for instance, yeah, if everything runs on spreadsheets or Google Docs or whatever, that's fine. What would you rather have? Would you rather have like 100 underpaid employees that have the chance of human error, or would you like an algorithm that can automatically handle all the incoming damage, all the incoming data, and sort all of that out and do the exact same thing, except it takes them like a fraction of a second? Right? It becomes a cost analysis, right?
Even as the neural sentry corrupts her best troops, she continues to send more. What is she after?
Come on, open the door.
Is attempting to purge you from this place.
Open the door. Okay. Yeah, so far this gun feels quite good to use. Though I actually need things to shoot. Oh, my antivirus is doing something dumb again. It's like the ping pong gun. Like, this weapon isn't nearly as elegant as some of the other ones, but it's kind of silly. So, it's... Well, that's the thing, right? The many doesn't matter in a lot of cases.
All manner of
The only point at which the many matter is,
if you have a necromech.
like, if they're the interface for your income, right? That's why, like, when I don't think simply increasing minimum wage or taxing oil or carbon is ever a good idea, right? Where are all the enemies? This is gonna be really, really bad if this keeps up. Because, like, all that's gonna do is it's gonna incentivize large corporations to lay off people because they just want to maintain the amount of money that shareholders get or the higher ups get. And all that really does is that it puts the environmental issues and financial issues on the people instead of the corporations that cause the problems. Where are all the enemies? Oh wait, this is too low of a level. That's why. Like, so when you say, like, when automation's hard for people to grasp, yeah, it is, but it doesn't matter. Like, all you need to say is, instead of spending $100 an hour, you could spend a couple cents per minute, or like for like all of that work to be done in a minute instead. I'm going to use the washroom real quick, so be right back. I'm back. All right, let's get this data. A lot of people are like they're really concerned about losing jobs and like all of that from automation, right? And like a lot of artists and computer scientists were a-okay with automation because they thought that they would be the last ones to be replaced. And now ChatGPT comes out and is like saying, hey, we can actually do your job better than you can. So like a lot of people are threatened. And better is like, there's a lot of different ways it can be quote unquote better, right? Because like if you take a look at like like artists, mostly artists at the moment, but soon to be computer scientists will be up in arms about ChatGPT and other AI models that can replace their jobs. So, and one thing that a YouTuber kind of brought up that, well, it makes a lot of sense to me, is how humanity has been domesticated by technology, right? And how, like, we're essentially cattle to, like, you know, fund a corporate enterprise. Because if you take a look at how countries respond to disaster, almost none of them, like, spend an exorbitant amount of money to solve their internal issues, but they spend a lot of money on sending quote-unquote foreign aid. I hate these things so much. And, like it's all publicity. It's all about, like, the flow of money and all of that. Because, like, in the news, Canada has had a lot of fires and a lot of people losing their homes and all of that. And they complain about, well, like, every time there's a disaster anywhere else in the world, there's billions of dollars poured into that. But if someone loses their home in Canada, like, they receive what? Like, $1,000 when they've lost their entire life savings that they kept in their home. Like, how's that going to replace any of it? Like, I'm not gonna say that all of the responsibilities on the government, right? Because that's something irresponsible to say and doesn't make a lot of sense. I need to check if my audio is up. One moment. Just checking my audio. Yeah, my audio is good. But, like, this is a fairly heavy topic for this kind of stuff. Let me just double check if I'm still live. I still am live. Sorry about the constant noise in the background. Family seems to have decided now is the best time to do some momentary cleaning. So I'll be doing my audio recordings at, like, at a later point instead of like after the stream. So yeah, like, let's get back to game stuff because I don't really want to talk politics too much. Like, so yeah, the Angstrom, pretty good. It handles lots of groups of enemies real easy, like.
Oculus, if they scan you, sentient fighters won't be far behind.
So, I've heard a lot about the One Piece live action. I'm kind of neutral on it, personally. Because, like,
They know you're here.
I'm already invested in watching anime, right? I don't, like, what? There's other media that I want to watch after all.
The longer you hold out,
Also, like, just refer to me by my channel name if you can. Because, some things are more important for later date. Yeah, it's okay. The Angstrom's so much better than it was on release. Jesus.
All manner of Orokin technology may work here due to the Circulus's proximity. If you have a necromech, you may use it.
Yeah, like, for the most part, from what I understand, it's a really, really, compelling live action. Like, it breaks the quote-unquote live action curse, right? I mean, there's an etiquette to some of these things too, right? Uh, like, I won't go out of my way to ask for, like, particular treatment unless I'm willing to reciprocate it. So, it's just a formality. Welcome back, Ninja. I am just in the midst of testing out the Angstrom, and it is performing much better than it would have on release, so... It's gotten quite a few buffs. It's gotten almost 400 kills every run so far. And this is going to be the third and final run. It is either immune to bad luck, or because of its quick firing rate, it doesn't have to deal with bad luck too frequently. And that's one thing I've noticed about a lot of these weapons that, you know, deal with lots of targets, is that when you start to get it going, it doesn't care about those throwing guys anymore because it CCs them.
The Orokin neural sentry
But,
is attempting to
yeah.
purge you from this place. Stand by for light support.
Like, these are some of the highest level enemies in the game. Some of the tankiest enemies in the game. And it's like... and that's mostly what I'm using to compare all of the other weapons, right? Because... let's be honest, even if a weapon is bad, it can handle almost all of the star chart, right? I say almost, there are caveats, like, not defection, what is the other, what's that? Disruption? Disruption. Disruption, it's like what I call... they just hit above their pay grade. So the reason why I'm using Revenant is to kind of give a neutral base. Like, it's not the amount of damage that they can do or I can prevent that's important. It's the amount of enemies that I can wipe out, considering that the biggest problem with Steel Path is how absurdly tanky some enemies are. Like, when you first enter Steel Path, it's almost impossible to kill anything on Mercury. Or Earth. Right? Because the Grineer have so much damage reduction that they have 99.95 damage reduction, right? And, like, at that point, you kind of need, like, really powerful pieces of equipment to start dealing with it. Like, if you were dealing with the Infestor or the Corpus, that's not a problem. It's always the Grineer that's an issue. Like, and playing the way that I set up Revenant, like, no damage buffs, no nothing, just make myself invulnerable. And even then I still die from time to time because I don't pay attention. It's gonna suck a little to skim through the stream to grab clips later for the video, but that's fine. Like, I want to make sure that, once again, each weapon gets a proper chance to show what they can do. And surprisingly, the Angstrom does just that. I need to double check because I think the Angstrom no longer... No, the Angstrom definitely still needs headshots, right? To guard. Here, let's test it out. So I'm gonna hit this guy in the bum. No, it doesn't need headshots anymore. That is really good. That's what I was hoping for initially. But I was very disappointed because it needed the headshots. But as you saw, I just shot the guy in the butt. And I don't like these guys. Okay? No bueno. Well, like, with regards to like names and things like that, right? It's also about response. It's like how your information, how important is your information, and if how do you respond to make sure that remains, you know, remains as private as it can be. Like if you can, like one of the biggest things is not to acknowledge those people who, you know, drop your information. It's a little difficult, but yeah. Every bit of information is important, and these guys are so frustrating. I don't like that they can steal my weapon. I'm supposed to be like a superhuman space wizard ninja thing. And that is that. Okay. No more killing. I'm heading up. Yeah, so... so the incarnants are in a little bit of a weird spot in terms of progression, because you can only really get these at the very end of the game. Jesus Christ. Because you have to be able to handle upwards of level 2,000 enemies on the steel path to even acquire one of these, unless you like just farm diligently. All right, go numb. So like once you acquire these, you kind of want to be able to do that content easier, right? Which is the biggest issue. Because initially, not all of them could. I still feel the Soma is quite terrible. Like, yeah, you can build it for crit, but it's not... Like, its incarnate form isn't geared towards critting. In fact... here, let me take a look at these stats first. 410. Very nice. Okay, let's take a look at the Soma incarnate really quick. My computer is so unhappy with me. So yeah, the Soma incarnate is just like a raw damage piece of a kit. Also, if anyone is interested, I am I'm currently sitting in my own VC in my Discord. So let me just grab the permalink. It should still work. I think the permalink still works. I'll try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Whoopsie doopsie doo. Okie dokie. So, yeah, the angstrom was able to handle almost everything very fluidly. Okay, next up is a melee called the Anku. This is the last one for week 2 rotation. Let's see what I have on it. Is there anything that I can use to improve it? Let me just check. Make sure that I have everything that I can see. So let's see. Grabbing my spreadsheet, dragging it over here. All right, so I don't know how good this will be. Anku's a bleed focused incarnon though. Oh right. So there is a special rule. Like if the weapons require a little help or require another item, then I'll give it to them. All of the melees will have this shotgun. Okay, Discord link is invalid. That's fine. It should be a permalink though, so I don't know why. Invite people. Copy. There we go. New link. Yeah, so I'm giving the Anku a piece of no, all of the melee are getting the Rauta set up without any damage. But all it's meant to do is to build melee combo. Very good. Okay.
The Orokin Neural Sentry is attempting to purge you from this place. Stand by for that.
I may want to have more range on this thing, but this is what I'll be testing, right? I mean, it does a decent job marking things. Guaranteed slash procs. Nope. What knocked me down? I have no idea. It's probably the doggo. So every 4 seconds I have to do a slide attack to give every attack going after that for 4 seconds. Guaranteed slash. Which is another buff that it got. So all of the week 2 weapons got buffed. So that's nice. Because it used to only be on slide attack. And now it's every attack after the slide attack included. No, can't imagine this is at all entertaining to watch. So they're updating melee so that you can just hold down the melee button to combo. That means blades are going to have to change a little bit, which I think will be nice. Like, because I don't like clicking so much. I'm just spamming melee attack. So, like, overall the melee are going to feel way better. Come October. Yeah, melee's in kind of a weird spot. Because, like, any melee is able to handle, like, any piece of content, except for maybe flying things. Like, they do sufficient... Oh, I'm in a bad spot. So, like, they do sufficient damage to get through the later parts of the game. It's just that, like... they don't feel very solid. Like, you're gliding through the battlefield, and there's, like, no sense of weight. Like, the guys just sit there, they kind of tank it, and then... they're either dead or you're dead. Like, you can do a lot of damage. Like, I don't think that this weapon will have any problems when it comes to, like, the tankier enemies. And that's why I picked this mission, right? Because it has a good selection of enemies, some infested, I think. No, actually there aren't any infested. Oh, did they replace the ancients with those stupid grabber guys? Violence, okay. I need to hit one of those things first.
The sentient has detected you. Fighters incoming.
Sentients have detected me. Yeah, it's just like death by 1,000 cuts. That's how this is gonna go. I mean, I also have the option to, like, not just cut them either. Why do you only have 7? I can also heavy attack you, and that should... Uh-oh. I don't like these sticky geometries sometimes. There we go. I am not looking forward to the next 2 rounds. I kind of want to skip all of the melee in general. Because, like, I mean, it's melee. They don't, like, some of them have some special stuff, which I don't mind showing off. But, oof. Like, it is unremarkable. Like, like unlike other weapons, melee isn't very good at um, how you say, it's hard to show unique mechanics. So 250 is not, it's not like killer though. So let's reset these numbers. 250. Okay. I don't want to just mod these things all willy-nilly. Just want to see if there's anything better I can give it to give it a fighting chance. Because like it's currently set up for crit and viral. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. Where is it? Okay. All right, let's get these out of the way. Checking my Discord messages. Making sure I can see chat. Now, oh yay! The most annoying mechanic. That is something I don't want to deal with. So this should be, yeah. I want to make sure that the weapon thrives on its own merit. So, which is why I'm not just like, sure, I could just spam heavy attacks. I don't like that. Like, I also want to, you know, play the weapon that I want to play. Wait, is that the stalker? Oh, I don't want to deal with the stalker right now. He always skews my data so much. Red blueprint, that's fine. Okay. I've been invaded by the stupid stalker during these tests so much. In the first 3 runs I had with the week 1 weapons, constantly. I mean, guaranteed slash procs. Can't really be mad at them. Decent combo string. I should probably just pass through the group instead of like meleeing them constantly. Except when it's like one of these jerks. Do-do-do-do-do. I'm swinging my axe or scythe. I think it's a scythe. Don't know why they picked this weapon out of all weapons to get an incarnon. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, so this map has sentience. They don't have infested anymore, but the infested are also not relevant. They also have the Thraxes, which are some of the tankiest normal enemies in the game. Let's just grab this real quick. So, yeah, one of the other rules is I have to be fighting as often as I can be, unless I'm literally about to fail the mission. Which I was just now. Oh, my wrist is sore from clicking this button. Okay. Let's deal with this guy first.
These manifestations must not be allowed to foothold on Lua. Life support is at risk. Destroy them.
It's more so that I don't want to die to this guy here than anything else. There we go. Oh, he's still one piece. And then there we go. All done. And once those guys are dead, I just record the data. One thing that's really weird to me is like there's a really elegant weapon included in all of these called the Nami Solo, but it's a machete. Out of all weapon types, I wasn't expecting it to be a machete. I guess you use a scimitar in this. You can use a scimitar in a similar fashion. Oh. Making sure that my audio is still working. Oh, is my audio not working? Making sure that yeah, audio's still working. Okay, let's grab that. That's 284. Sorry about the sirens. I think city's gonna go into a state of emergency soon, but whatever. That is that, and this is this, right? Okay, after this, I'm done with week 2.
The art of combat must be practiced to truly master the canvas of war.
3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So for those who don't know, like, the Rhoda is able to generate combo per pellet that it hits. So really, probably one of the fastest ways to build combo in the game is just to like use the shotgun. I mean, it's able to perform fairly well against masses of enemies. Just having some difficulty with the tankier ones with my current setup. I mean, yeah, I could go for like a heavy attack spam. But that, I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of the slidey attack thing. Well, you can go slidey attack and then slidey heavy. Oh, there we go. There goes my combo. Let's build up combo. Feels like this is a fairly decent room for melee. Oh, you stole my shotgun. Whoop-de-dee. So, incarnon melee, it lasts for 3 minutes. I kind of wish that they had like a set number of charges that did something way more impactful instead of just loosely making your weapon a bit better. Because I don't think that's like, I don't know, that's not fun. Times 9 multiplier, good enough. Slicey, slicey, slice. Oh, that's a little annoying. Yeah, so for cases like that, I'm only taking melee kills anyways. But it's a little annoying when it happens. Because like now I have to deal with this super tanky dude. There we go. Oh, I did not mean to take over. Excuse data a little bit. It's fine. It's a melee weapon. So I can just count the melee kills. Okay, I need to run all the way over here.
Sentient scouts. If they detect you, fighters will soon attack.
Oh my god.
Tenno, if you have a necromech,
There we
this
go.
would be an excellent place to deploy.
There we go. All fixed. I went the wrong way. Three, four, five, six. There we go. I just need to last until 50. Or just 5 minutes, I mean. Come on. Why are you so far apart? Whatever, so.
The longer you pull back, the deeper I can search. But you need to leave. Extraction is ready. These manifestations must not be allowed a foothold on Rua. Life support is at risk. Destroy them. They know you're here. Prepare for sentient fighters.
Oh, did it just die from being prone? That's hilarious. Yeah, it did. Okay. I'm outie. Some unnecessary data there. Or, like, some mess. But that's not a problem. Oh, come on. Okay. I'm done with week 2. How many weeks do we have left? Too many. Too many. 225 melee kills. A little underperformed there, but that's how averages work. Alright, duplicate. Week 3. Okay. What is the next set of weapons? It is... Let's see. Latron. Oh, this is going to be a good one. There's the bow, Latron, the Furus, the Furax, and the Strun. 3 of these weapons I like. 2 of them I don't. So, largely going to skip dealing with a lot of that. Okay. So I'll do the guns for the time being. I'm gonna skip the melee because I really don't want to do the melee right now. So Latron. So Latron's a weird one because just it takes approximately 5 shots, a little over 5 shots, but it will just completely armor strip something. No questions asked. Permanently. So, where everything else struggles with high armored enemies, there are no such thing as high armored enemies against the Latron. Really? Really? You're gonna do this to me? Huh? You really think this is a good idea? It does have bouncing projectiles, but they don't see. So, let's see. But the AoE is quite big, so let's see how that goes.
Stand by for life support.
I should have checked what mods I had installed. Doesn't really matter though. Look at that. So basically, you don't, like, the bounces are, like, extra, because, like, it doesn't really help when they bounce around randomly. It also doesn't help that I have the aim of a goat. As in, like, the animal. Not the greatest of all time, I believe the youngsters call it. Oh, chat's kind of quiet. Oh well. Can't always be active this early. Yeah, so overall the Latron feels pretty decent. Good crit rate, big damage, armor, destruction, which is, I feel like more weapons should have. Really? Really? Just because you had some big shield protecting you? Much disapproval. I kind of miss being able to CC Eczema. Especially since, like, the CC isn't, like, hyper consistent. Or the, like, the changes aren't, like, unilateral nerfs to certain Warframe abilities and control frames. Because, like, Warframe is sped up so much, it's all about the damage. It's just more annoying than anything, I feel. But now that we have access to Overguard and other Warframes, that's better. Oh god, my computer's lagging. Come on, you can make it. Okay. It's basically like you're firing a rocket, an RPG. Okay, after this I'm going to check on what's eating up all my memory, because I don't appreciate that in the slightest.
Oculists, if they scan you, sentient fighters won't be far behind.
I like how the Latron's like a hyper accuracy focused weapon, but then like its incarnate form is like the exact opposite. I mean, accuracy is always going to be rewarded. Oh my god. The delay. Okay, I'm almost done with this set of data collection. Okay. So, like, these guys, I don't like. Just, oh, you don't get energy anymore. Oh, and your shield is gone.
The longer you
Okay, let's see how you guys do.
search, but if you need to leave, extraction is ready.
See, like, almost completely armor stripped. 4 shots.
They will drain your life support unless they are destroyed.
And done. Easy peasy. Okay, so I'm gonna probably
All manner of
end
foreign
stream fairly
technology may
soon.
work here due to the Circulus's
I
proximity.
just want to check on
If you
like
have the
what's
funds,
causing me
use it.
so many computer issues. Because stream was fine up until just now, so. I'm probably gonna do more data collection in the background. After stream. But I kind of just wanted to hang out a little bit.
As you conquer the
But,
world, so
yeah.
you conquer yourself.
Let's just quickly take a look at all of that. Okay, what's eating up my RAM? It's Steam. Was there a game that updated? Because if there was, I do not appreciate that. 390 something kills. No, do not allow downloads during gameplay. I thought that was obvious. Okay. 393 for the Latron. Very good showing. Oh. Didn't my game crash? Oh, there we go. Okay. I kind of want to mix it up a little bit. So let's grab the Furus. I just want to do like one run of each before I head off. So what mods did I give you? So you want to do as much damage as possible. You do electricity, and then you do electricity and gas. That's fine. And then, all right, let me check the angstrom really quick before I. No. Direct hits, yeah. So they buffed that. So that's so good. So good now. Furious headshots. More multi-shot, that's good. With critical, yeah, so why did I pick this again? Oh, right, because okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Tracking chat. Let's do one with that. And then what's the last one I'm gonna do on stream? The Strun. Not the biggest fan of the Strun. The Strun's okay though. So the Furus feels really nice to use. So,
These foes deserve your respect. Honor
so
them.
ooh, look, I got gas damage because I want to do electric. I mean, it takes quite a bit of effort to use. Okay, so it's not as good as I remember it. That could be bad.
Is attempting to purge you from this place.
Come on.
Stand by for
Let me through the door. Lotus, let me through the door. Okay, it's okay. Because I needed to use up heat somewhere, and blast was terrible. That's what I remember. So I decided to go with gas. I wish gas was a slightly better damage type. That's not bad. Okay, this doesn't feel very good though. I don't know, I'm a little mixed. A little mixed. Really? Again? Ugh. I hate those guys so much. I mean, the damage is alright. More like creating a map of death. It's not my favorite thing. I might change the build up, see how that is. Compare the numbers. It's not bad. We're already at 200 kills. So it's nothing to sneeze at. It's doing better than a lot of the melees already. It's just that I can't see a bloody thing when I'm using it. I guess I could change the laser to black? That'll fix it? Oh my god. Leave me the hell alone. So this weapon's a little weird because it wants a very particular amount of crit. Like you build it for crit, but you don't want above 40% crit. At least with the current setup. Which it isn't bad. Not in any way, shape, or form. It takes a little while to melt the enemies. But, like, it's nothing to sneeze at.
Sentient scouts. If they detect you, fighters will soon attack.
I'm gonna check what, oh my goodness. I'm gonna check what arcane I put inside. I might swap that up as well. If there's an electric secondary arcane, maybe. If I have it, of course. Okay, so here's the moment of truth. Let's see how well it does against the Acolyte. Mania. Mania's the punchy one, right? No, it isn't. Oh, it's okay. It's not the fastest Mania kill, but it's also not, like, the slowest. The Fenwar is definitely terrible for these things. No, we're already here. What do you know?
The longer you put out, the deeper I can search. But if you need to leave, extraction is
Yeah, so I think more of the dots need to have stacking damage properties.
draining your life support and fast.
Because, like, gas is realistically only good for its burst. And then it's kind of useless as a DPS afterwards. For instance, if I hit this whole group, they all unleash their one tick of gas at the same time. But like on a focus target like this, it's real slow going. Oops. Okay. And now we're done. Do 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 do. From what I felt before when I was using the Strun, when I was leveling it, they pushed the damage numbers up. I do wish that the reload was a little better. I'll analyze the Strun a little bit before coming back. Oh, not Strun, the Furus a little bit before coming back to it.
They fought well. Good dance on.
But for the time being, I'll record 350 kills. That's not bad. That's not bad in the slightest. Okay, let's see if there's anything I can do. So since it's such a peculiar weapon, I'm using conjunction voltage. Stacks up to 40 times. I don't think this is very good. Since I'm using galvanized shot, there is this secondary encumber. I think this will just drastically increase my damage output. Even though it's currently secondary encumber. Even though it's only at rank 1, like it'd be amazing at max rank. But like I don't want to farm secondary encumber, and I don't want to buy it right this second. And let's also take a look at some of the mods, or like the effects available for the Furus before I end the stream for today. Yeah, but this is what I'm going to be doing all week. It's collecting data, because I don't remember how many weeks there are. There's like, after this is week 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, what? Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 weeks total. And I'm on, well, there's 8 weeks total. Yeah, technically. And I've done 3 and like a fifth of 1. So 3.2. And I have all of these weapons to go through. So no shortage of things. Increased fire rate. 5%. This seems different. I don't remember this being a thing. This could be fun. 50% increased fire rate. Critical chance below. Status chance. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to call the stream here. Thank you all for joining me. It is, but I think this is where I sign off for today. I'll keep on testing out the various incarnons. I might stream again later today. I just need a little bit of a break from the constant chatting. Anyways, for anyone who's watched or is watching the VOD, thanks for watching until this point. Like, sub, and subscribe. Likes, comment, and subscribe, I believe, is what people say most of the time. It helps a lot. And I will see you all next time. I'm going to be streaming only once per week going forward because I want to work on some videos instead. So, ta-ta for now, and thanks for watching.